Alright, this little series has gotten a bit out of hand. With only a single tower on screen at a time, I reached round 170. With 2 towers, I beat round 233. With 3 towers, I pushed all the way to round 349. Each additional tower letting me crack the next 100 round milestone. But the late 300s are a completely different beast, way harder than anything up to that point. So, at the end of the 3 towers only video, I actually said this. By the way, I'm not entirely sure if I will make a dedicated video on 4 towers only. I have a very strong suspicion that it won't actually get that much further than 3 towers. Well, all I can say now, I had no idea what I was in for. This was the first tower combination I tried. The Navarch, Ascended Shadow, Legend of the Night and Ezili, on logs of course. Even though I had a ton of cash for Ezili micro, it ended pretty much how I expected it would, slowly fizzling out in the late 300s and finally dying to round 388, only 13 rounds away from that final goal. That's just close enough though, so I had to give it one more try. Different map, different towers. Let's get into this. Spar Pits is the map of choice because I am going to go for a Spike Factory Paragon. I explained in more detail why Spar Pits is the best map for this Paragon in my last video, but the short version is that on this map you can use the Spike Again ability a lot more than on other maps like logs. And that ability is where most of the damage comes from. But that's for later. For now, let's focus on the farming. Of course, I start by rushing a bank. When that's full after round 25, I collect and buy 2 023 marketplaces and upgrade my boat to Merchantman. After beating round 30, I sell 1 marketplace and the boat and get my support Chinook up. Because what would be a limited number of towers challenge without stall farming, right? Is it weird that I unironically enjoy stall farming, by the way? Let me know in the comments, because I might have given myself Stockholm Syndrome after doing it so much. Well, either way, the bank gets full just in time for the lead balloons on round 37, so I collect and upgrade the Chinook to special preparations, and with the marine ability I can defend very easily now. The round after, I sell the top path marketplace and sacrifice the other marketplace for a mini Opolis mid-round. Just 1 round after that, I can already afford a BRF, sell the bank and buy an overclock as well. Pretty solid farming setup by round 40 if I dare say so myself. Now it's time to save up for a bigger monkey Opolis, which I can already afford after round 43. After selling everything, I have 150,000 cash. So I buy a 3 Farm Opolis, get my special preparations back and buy a BRF and an overclock during the round. And at this point things are pretty straightforward. Upgrade the farm to Banana Central after round 48, the overclock to Ultra Boost on round 50, and once the Central is 10 times Ultra Boosted, sell the Engineer and buy a Monkeynomics. With that, the farming setup is complete. Stall farming isn't particularly interesting to watch, so see you on round 95. This round can be a little tricky, but it is possible. Finally cross path the heli with the bottom path for extra attack speed on the marine, and remember to set your marines to strong targeting for the DDTs. I could also get jungle drums on the village to make it even easier, but it's not necessary. Just leave a couple fortified ceramics alive to stall, and this round ends up being no problem at all. Round 99 is a problem though. Even with jungle drums on the village, the fortified DDTs are just too much. So it's time to switch things up. I sell the helicopter and the bank after using their abilities one last time and buy supermines and an ultra boost. After giving the Spike Factory 10 stacks, I keep the NG and overclock the banana farm. I keep this setup for as long as possible, occasionally overclocking the supermines to help out with the rounds. By round 166, the supermines isn't enough anymore, so it's time to buy the Spike Factory Paragon. I sell the Ultra Boost and the Banana Central, buy the other 2 tier 5 spikes and upgrade the Supermines to the Mega Massive Munitions Factory. Degree 88 is the best I can get here. After that it's right back to farming, and I deliberately didn't sell the 3 Farm Opolis because now that I have the Paragon up I'd have to get a worse Opolis if I sold it. So just get the Banana Central and Ultra Boost back. This is by far the easiest time of the run because this Paragon can solo for quite a while. And by quite a while I mean all the way to round 250. Now it could get even further, but it'll need help very soon, so it's time to start farming pops for the next Paragon, which will of course be the Navarch of the Seas. Farming pops for this is very quick and easy with a Pirate Lord. Just hook in a couple fortified ZOMGs and just a few rounds later on 260 I can already buy the Degree 88 Navarch. But farming isn't over quite yet, oh no. I get the Ultra Boost and the Banana Central back one final time, because I'll be needing all the money I can get. I keep farming like this all the way until round 300, where I have just about 6 million cash saved up. After collecting all the crates from the Central this round, I sell the farm and the engineer and replace them with Ezili and a Grand Sabo Ninja. And this is the final setup that'll carry me all the way to the elusive round 400. Well, maybe with a tiny bit of help from Ezili Micro. And with a tiny bit, I mean a lot. Like a lot of Ezili Micro. But we do love Ezili Micro on this channel, right? It'll just be a little bit. How bad could it be, right? Let's just go over the general strategy on round 352 as an example. The Navarch hook-in ability is almost always used on the first 2 fortified beds of any round. Generally, I use the Grand Sabo as soon as possible right at the start of a round, but later on some rounds will be longer than the Sabo uptime, but that's just kind of something I gotta deal with. Timing the Spike-Again ability right is the most important part, and generally you want to use it in combination with Ezili's Hex, which is easy for now, but will become harder later on. And then the final part of the strategy is of course to do Ezili Micro whenever it is necessary. Pretty simple stuff, right? Yeah, it actually is pretty simple. As long as you're willing and have the determination to do Ezili Micro for like 2 hours or so and retry rounds over and over again, it's really not that hard to pull off. And there really isn't much worth mentioning during these final rounds. You can see by round 395 I still have around 3 million cash left. I just have to do some Ezili rebuys to beat the round, and that's the case for pretty much all of these rounds. I have enough money so I don't have to sell anything off, and I don't have to buy any other towers to help defend. Bloons tower defense? More like Ezili Micro Simulator the game, am I right? Yeah. Although round 395 was a bit of an outlier with how easy it was. Most rounds look more like round 398. But this too, time the Spike-Again ability right, do some Ezili rebuys, and that's that. Just like that, I've reached round 400, and this also isn't much of a challenge to beat. 400 rounds with only 4 towers on screen at any one time. Previously, the lowest I'm aware of was done by the one and only Orange Bloon, using 7 towers to reach round 400. He also attempted it with only 4 towers before, but lost before round 350 with the same tower selection. But as a wise man once said, just do more Ezili Micro. The final round I managed to beat here was 407. The rounds get significantly harder after 400, and with only 4 towers there's just not much you can do. While I let these final rounds play out, I thought I'd talk about some channel related stuff. First up, this series. X amount of towers for X amount of rounds. I think I'll probably end it here. Never say never, of course, but round 500 is not exactly an easy goal, and judging from like other how far can all 12 paragons go videos, it would pretty much just turn into a normal casual game of replay. Like in Isab's video on this, he died on round 453, and that's with a VTSG and extra support towers on top of all the paragons. So I just don't think there's much of a point in chasing the next goal here. What else can you expect then? Well, more free play challenges, of course. Space restrictor challenges, only using certain towers or tower categories, stuff like that. If you remember, more or less what Mac and Rules did a lot in his early days. I personally always enjoyed those videos a lot, and it's what I enjoy doing in the game the most. Apart from Ezili micro, of course. Or just whatever challenges you guys want to see. I'm always open to suggestions, so leave them in the comments if you have any. I also wanted to give a huge general thank you to the incredible reception to these videos. I never expected them to do as well as they did, especially with the very first one tower at a time video. I was expecting like a couple hundred views, maybe, since it's like the first video on a new channel, and the premise is kinda stupid, but well, here we are now. Several thousand views later. Just a huge thank you to all of you. Okay, that's that. Let's take one final look at this run here to see the pop counts. Almost 6.7 billion pops on the Spike Factory. I feel like there's probably some kind of stupid number joke here that I don't get or something. Anyways, 10 billion pops on the Navarch, of course very inflated from hooking in all the non-bats, but still very good. 2.3 billion pops on the Grand Sabo and 60 million on Ezili, but of course that's not accurate because I sold her a lot, so no pops for Ezili sadly. And that's it for this challenge. 400 rounds with only 4 towers on screen at a time. I really didn't think it would be possible at first, but well, I managed to do it. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe, and check out the other videos in this series if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, but for now, until next time.